We all know that cover crops provide a multitude of benefits, including erosion control, soil enrichment, and weed suppression. However, the real challenge lies in knowing when and how to terminate the cover crops effectively, ensuring a seamless transition for the next crop cycle. Join us as we reveal the secrets of finishing cover crops like a pro. Let's get started. First up, what are cover crops and why they need to be terminated? Cover crops are intentionally planted to cover the soil between main cash crops during non-production periods. They serve several important purposes in agricultural systems. Cover crops help reduce soil erosion by protecting the soil surface from wind and water erosion, especially during periods when the land would otherwise be bare. They also improve soil health by adding organic matter, increasing soil fertility, and improving soil structure. However, cover crops need to be eliminated before planting the main cash crop to avoid competition for resources such as sunlight, water, and nutrients. If cover crops are not properly eliminated, they can compete with cash crops for these resources. Thus, they potentially reduce cash crop yield and quality. That said, let's get into the matter proper. How to terminate cover crops. Different cover crop species have different growth patterns and sensitivities to termination methods. Weather conditions, such as frost or a long fall period, can naturally kill some cover crops. Cover crop goals, such as soil erosion control or nutrient cycling, also affect the timing and method of termination. It is important to balance the need to maximize the benefits of cover crops with timely termination to prevent potential penalties to the cash crop. If cover crops are eliminated too early, they may not provide sufficient soil protection or nutrient cycling benefits. On the other hand, if cover crops are eliminated too late, they can compete with the cash crop and limit its growth and yield potential. There are three main methods of cover crop termination, including natural, chemical, and mechanical. The selection of termination method and timing depends on several factors, including cover crop species, growth stage, weather conditions, and goals for using cover crops. To kick things off, let's examine the natural methods. Natural methods of eliminating cover crops refer to practices that do not involve the use of synthetic herbicides or chemicals. These methods can help farmers effectively eliminate their cash crops while promoting soil health and minimizing environmental impact. Some natural methods that are commonly used to kill cover crops include 1. Winter killing. Some cover crops, such as oats, sorghum Sudan grass, rye and oilseed, radishes, turnips, and winter peas, die naturally during the winter months due to cold temperatures. By planting these varieties in late summer or fall, farmers can allow them to grow and die off naturally when winter arrives. This process simplifies spring management and provides some level of soil protection and weed suppression. 2. Grazing. Livestock grazing can be an effective way to eliminate some cover crops, especially those with palatable leaves. Cattle, sheep, or other grazing animals are allowed to graze on the cover crop, consuming above-ground plant material and preventing regrowth. Proper management is essential to ensure that grazing does not excessively compact the soil or damage the remaining crop. 3. Solarization. This method is usually used for small areas or high-value vegetable production systems. Solarization involves covering cash crop residues with clear plastic sheets during the summer months. Plastic blocks solar energy, raises soil temperatures, and effectively kills crops through heat. This method can also help control some soil-borne pests and diseases. The choice of termination method depends on the specific catch crop, cover crop, and farming system. Farmers should consider their goals, available resources, and environmental conditions when deciding the most appropriate termination method for their crops. In addition, proper crop rotation and agronomic practices should be followed to ensure optimal soil health and productivity. Now let's talk about mechanical methods of elimination. Mechanical methods can also be used to eliminate cash crops, providing an alternative to chemical methods. Some of the common mechanical methods for eliminating cash crops are 1. Mowing. Mowing involves cutting the cash crop at or near ground level using a mower or sickle bar cutter. This method is relatively simple and can be effective for eliminating certain types of cash crops, such as grasses or low-growing crops. However, regrowth may occur in some cases, especially if the crop has the ability to regenerate from the base or if it produces new shoots from lateral buds. 2. Flail mowing. Flail mowing is a more aggressive form of mowing where a flail mower is used to cut the crop. A mower has multiple blades or chains that rotate rapidly, cutting and mulching the crop. Flail mowing can provide a more complete finish than regular mowing, as it breaks the crop into smaller pieces, which help decomposition into the soil. 3. Roller crimping. Similar to its use in cover crop termination, a roller crimper can also be used to terminate some catch crops. A roller crimper is a heavy drum with blades or crimping bars that roll over the crop, simultaneously crushing the stems and laying them down to form a mat of residue. This method works well for cash crops that have strong and straight stems, effectively mulching the crop and creating a mulch layer that helps suppress weeds. Lastly, under mechanical methods of elimination, we have cutting or harvesting. For some catch crops, they can be eliminated by harvesting at an appropriate stage. This is usually done with crops such as corn, wheat, or soybeans, where the plants are allowed to reach maturity, and then mechanically harvested using special equipment. The act of harvesting effectively removes the crop from the field and destroys it. Know that you can use a few of these methods in combination with each other. Depending on the time of year and state of the plants, various methods can be more or less successful. For example, if you need to terminate earlier than planned, you could use crimping and tarping to get a good full termination. Check out more resources in the description for some great books written by expert farmers on the subject. Mastering the art of terminating cover crops is like conducting a symphony of sustainable agriculture. With these invaluable insights, you possess the conductor's baton, ready to harmonize growth and cultivation. So go forth, cultivate the soil, embrace new beginnings, and let your fields flourish with the beauty of terminated cover crops. Happy farming!